Right, so season 6 is season 6 is finally over. I've already done the Golden Pass, so yeah, I don't need to worry about that, and I can afford the next one as well because we've been going absolutely ham over on Twitch with trying to get the
Hey, nice find.
4 hours. Been going absolutely ham on Twitch trying to get trying to build up enough tokens to get next season's Golden Pass, and I managed to do that fairly easily, actually, even with getting that Wally box a couple of weeks ago, which left me with 100 tokens, and I've managed within 2 weeks to get from 100 tokens to 988 tokens. I think they're probably going to give some tokens at the start of next season as well. Next season being Wreck-It Ralph, which is probably the most excited I've been for a character drop since the start of the game. Because, like, if they were going to get me with anything, they were going to get me with Monsters Inc. And Monsters Inc. was the first season anyways. So, you know, now it's just Wreck-It Ralph is in the game, which is like a gimme anyway. Like, most of that movie takes place inside of a racing game. So, why not put... So putting those characters inside of a racing game just makes sense. Now it's just cars. And then, and then, you know, all the characters that make sense are in the game. Also, I think The Incredibles is the next one that's like, that's a gimme. That's like one you've got to do. And then Inside Out, I think, to correlate with the new movie, I think that's a gimme. And possibly, I think Winnie the Pooh is a gimme as well. Although I can see Winnie the Pooh being mid-season. Like, Pooh and Tigger being the two characters that are dropped, and then everyone else is like a crew member. I would like a 100 Acre Wood track, but also I don't know how exciting that would be. I don't know. If we could get tracks for the mid-season characters, that would also be nice, but I don't know. I'll do the daily while talking about this season.
What do you say I lead and you follow?
You came to the right space, Ranger.
Nothing scares me. I'm ready and raring
Hercules.
to go. I won't run from
Hercules.
You can trust
Where are you?
What do you think we'll see today?
There you
I'll
are.
prove I'm not just another chariot chaser.
Yeah, though. Oh yeah, and also obviously Sora from Kingdom Hearts. If they add Sora in, then that's it. You can end the game after putting Sora in. I'm pretty... I'll be content after they put Sora in. And for that one person who's like, Sora's never going to be in the game, he's in Smash, damn it. You can't silence me.
Oh, I like that.
But we're not here today to gush over characters who could be in the game. We're here to talk about Season 6. The most middle-of-the-road season so far. And I think... there needs to be a big shake-up with the way the game is handled. Because at the moment, it seems like there's the season tour, there's, you know, there's the season tour, which is becoming even more of a, like, what the hell are you doing fest. There's ranked multiplayer, which is absolutely broken. Ranked multiplayer is a mess at the moment. I still think this starter circuit should be completely removed and should be replaced with an evergreen campaign mode. Like, I know the season tour is kind of what the campaign is, but if we have a campaign that is set up like the season tour, like, usually when you have stuff that's set up like this kind of like mobile gamey setup, you have the event, which is the season tour, which is what the season tour is. And then you have, like, your main campaign, which you're trudging through. And that's where you get, like, your like, starting rewards. So that you can progress in events quicker. And so you can get through... Like, this is where you get your chase characters and your new shiny characters. This is where you get... This is where you should get the base game characters and characters that you haven't, that have had seasons previously that you've missed. I think a campaign or a Grand Prix or something is like where the game, what the game should implement next. I think there's enough tracks in the game. There's enough tracks and there's enough variety of tracks in the game to justify that, or to at least justify having like a couple of starting Grand Prix. I just think at the moment this is a waste of a slot. This is a waste of a slot because it's something everyone has already done. And maybe have this here, and then once it... Like, is it... Is it just the first chapter now? Is it only one chapter now? It was, like, at first it was 6, then it was 3, and now it's just one chapter. That's kind of fucked. Like, this is just pointless. They are... just slowly going towards removing this completely, which I think is... It should have been done already. There should have been a campaign in the game when the game launched. The limited events, I think, is fine because what's here is meant to be, like, what's here will be even easier to get with a campaign that will allow you to get Bell Shards, Beast Shards, along with shards for characters that were put in the game at launch, that are still difficult to get because they haven't had a season, they haven't had events, or they haven't had anything to really showcase them. They were just plunked in the game when the game released, and were like, "You want to get Baloo? Fuck you. That's what you get if you want to get Baloo. Here's Figment instead." And that honestly is just that's honestly just a bit. I'm gonna do this because why not?
Let them come to me.
What I need to do?
Feed them.
Yeah.
What are you staring at?
I don't think talking about the season as a whole is. I don't think there's any point to giving an overall review of this season, because the problems this season are the same problems that there were last season. Like the seasonal, like the season chapters asking for crazy requirements for character levels. It's like no one's going to be able to get Ariel or Triton or Eric up to level 30, up to level 45, or up to level 40 at least, up to level 35. Well, I mean, I managed to get Eric up to level 35. It's like that's the only way to get characters up to that point is just grinding through ranked multiplayer, which is, you know, not fun and boring. And the last thing you want your game to be, especially a Disney game, is boring. Like, the game just needs more places to grind characters out that aren't just boxes, spending money, or spending an ungodly amount of time in multiplayer, which is the least fun game mode. Ow. Yeah, I think
This is a surprise.
Oh, here we go. Collection of that.
Kind of you.
What the hell? Yes, I Canada. What are you talking about? Yes, I Canada. The big problem with the game is just a lack of variety, lack of fun, just lack of charm. Like, all of the charm in the game at the moment. Like, I'm probably not going to call this video the Season 6 retrospective, because that's not the point. If you want my retrospective off of Season 6, the biggest point I have to make is that EVE event was an absolute shambles. Every version of that EVE event was a shambles. Was a shambles. The only way I was able to get EVE was by spending tokens on that box. I didn't spend money. I spent time grinding them in multiplayer, in ranked multiplayer. And, you know, I just spent a lot of time in ranked multiplayer getting tokens, and then spent even more time in ranked multiplayer getting those tokens back. And the only way to avoid that is by spending And that's ridiculous. I think there probably needs to be more places to get tokens. Like, even if there was, like, you get 10 tokens at the end of completing a campaign chapter. Or you get... Like, there should be tokens in the Golden Pass. Like, some point you should get, instead of, like, when you get these tokens, instead of getting, like, cosmetic stuff, hopefully it happens next season, because they're getting rid of all of these upgrade materials and replacing them with upgrade coins, which again comes back to my point of just getting rid of fun, just getting rid of all of the charm of the game. Like having like Lucy's shaved ice, having the loaves of bread or the cake toppers. It's something that's so inconsequential, but it keeps the Disney-ness of the game. It keeps that kind of like Disney feel or Disney attachment to the game. Like, no other game will have you using shaved ice or snow cones or that to upgrade. This is a very Disney thing, and it keeps with the theming of the game being a Disney game. Having it just be upgrade coins, any game could use upgrade coins. You know. Where's the magic and imagination when it comes to something like an upgrade coin? Yeah, you're also using shards now, which means there's probably going to be even more of a bottleneck on shards, because now you're not just building up shards to level up, to rank up, you're building up shards to get an individual level. So leveling is going to be in theory it would be a quicker. But in practice, every character is using the exact same upgrade material. Every character is using upgrade coins. Every character is using their own shards. Yes, at some point, yes, at the early levels you only need like 2 shards to upgrade, but you're only getting 2 shards per box. At least with these, you were getting like 4, 10, 4, 10, 4, 4, 4. Yeah, maybe that doesn't prove my point as good as it does. But like, if you're going into ranked multiplayer, like, what are you getting each time for rewards? You're getting like 45 here, 15, 4 shards there, but then you're getting 75, 15, 15, 30, 60, 40, 50, 5. Okay, that's not great, but it's a trio. You're not going to be using a lot of those. 30, 85, 30, 7, 8, and it go on and so forth and so on and so forth. You know, so the upgrade coins, unless you're getting in the millions at a go, unless you're getting in the millions, and unless shard drops raise, unless they raise shard drops or make shards more available, or give us a game mode where we can get shards more quickly, i.e. a fucking campaign mode, i.e. a campaign, then that bottleneck is going to get even worse. That bottleneck is going to get even worse, and you're going to be spending even longer trying to get to like your level 40s or your level 35s to get the to get these objectives. Like if we look at Calm Before the Storm, the final season, what do we need? King Triton level 40, Ariel level 35, Prince Eric level 40. I haven't even tried this. Gaston level 25. Unlocking Gaston at the moment is something that's impossible to do outside of spending tokens. And even then, if you spend tokens, it's a game of chance. You could get 1, you could get 10, you could get none. Here, Belle, level 30. My Belle is level 25. And I've been playing since the start of the game. You know. And then, yeah, Beast level 30, but I chose Beast as my character at the start when it was like, choose your first characters. As the freaking Wally one. Yeah, Wally level 25 and then Eve level 15. So Wally is impossible to get without spending shards during this season. Last season he was next to impossible to get because you had to get a certain, you had to get in the top 15% of his event to even unlock him. And then you need to go into multiplayer to get those shards to get him to 2 stars. Which is not fun. Trying to get to rank 18 with a 1-star character is just not fun. Thankfully, it only asks for a 1-star Eve, but Eve, you need Wally to get. And Wally is, like I said, difficult to get, and Eve, also difficult to get. Not to mention that Eve had an event where you needed Sully, you needed Oswald. I believe you needed Oswald, but you needed like a few of the epic characters from past seasons that are just very difficult to get now. So it's not new player friendly. Nothing in the game now is new player friendly. Like, and that's why I'm saying this needs to change to a campaign mode where you can get the shards for where you can get shards for characters, even characters like Donnie, characters like Donald, characters like Goofy, characters like, you know, mid-season characters as well. You need a place where you can get those shards. I'm not even talking like a lot, just enough for an unlock. Like, the campaign should be where a campaign for the game, ideally, in an ideal world, is where you get the shards to unlock, is where you, like, start your snowball effect. It's like it's the push down the hill, and like as you roll, your snowball is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is where you should be by the end of the campaign, you should have unlocked the roster up to the season tour. Yes, the season tour characters should not be in the campaign. But as soon as the season ends, you can roll the season characters into the campaign. And you can make a new campaign chapter that's evergreen, that lasts forever, that anyone at any point of the game can get onto, can log in and just get to just unlock these characters. The way to do progression, the way that should have been the way to do progression from the beginning, and this isn't my idea, this is Sunbird Albino's idea, is instead of having a level block or a star level block where you can raise your level to. Like, instead go with the Disney Mirrorverse or the Disney Sorcerer's Arena approach, like the mobile game approach, the mobile like Hero Collector game approach, where you can level up to wherever you want to level up without star levels being anything to do with, without star levels really being involved at all. So you could still, in theory, get all of these things done with 1-star characters, but still leveled up as far as you want. Yeah, the upgrade material bottleneck is still a thing, but I still think the shard bottleneck is much more pressing than the upgrade item bottleneck. And the fact that nothing has been addressed since the beginning of the game on the shard bottleneck, I think is a massive failure of Gameloft's part, because you're driving people. You're either driving people to spend money, or you're driving people to quit the game. And you don't. The ideal for a business is to draw people to spend money, but more people are going to want to spend money if it doesn't feel like you're being choked into doing it. Like if your game feels like you need to spend money to progress in the game, that's not going to incentivize spending money. What will incentivize spending money is if you're enjoying the game anyway, regardless. That's why DLC works, and it's why I'm more pro DLC and more pro monetizing cosmetics than I am monetizing characters and monetizing stuff that will actually give you progress. Because when games monetize progress items and stuff that's not just cosmetic or not, extra stuff, extra content, that's when I'm gonna start to think, oh, so you want people who can't spend to struggle or leave. And when the game is targeting kids, targeting a younger demographic, that's when I start to think, oh, this is scummy. There's a problem here. And yeah, I genuinely think that there needs to be a big rework for the game. And if that means doing what Multiverses has done, and like shutting off the game and bringing it back in like a year's time when everything's fixed, then I don't mind doing that. Maybe you can't do that now because it's been released from beta, because it's not in beta anymore. But I just think get rid of that starter circuit entirely. You're already on your way to doing that, but get rid of that, replace it with a campaign. I think that, where you can farm shards and you can, like a campaign that has the same kind of structure as the season tour, but just lasts forever. It's just evergreen and doesn't go away seasonally. I think that is the way to go, and that's what the game needs. A Grand Prix mode would be great as well, but that's like when you have 20 plus tracks in the game, when you have 30 plus tracks in the game. I also would like to see tracks based on the mid-season characters. Like, you have one for the Steamboat characters, and they're technically in the same like group of characters as Mickey and Friends. So why can't Wally get a track? Why can't, you know, Figment get a track? The Disney World characters get a track. You know, why can't you do a track that's like inside Disney Castle? You know. But anyways, I'm going to end this video here, and I will see you guys in the next one. The next few videos are going to be top 5s on the characters in the game. I would do a tier list, but there's a lot of characters in the game now, so I think just doing a top 5 per class would probably be more beneficial and probably be easier on me when it comes to editing. To be honest, I think just doing a top 5 would just doing top 5s is more digestible than doing a big old tier list, because that video would be an hour long now. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Peace.